In conclusion, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to emphasize to our esteemed guests that despite the recent developments, Zimbabwe remains an exceptionally safe and peaceful country which is in love with mankind. Zimbabwe is a country whose constitution provides for peace-loving people from all walks of life, different political, religious, cultural, and ideological persuasions, as well as diverse races to live in harmony. I have no doubt in my mind that the deep economic and political reforms being pursued by government will tremendously improve the business environment and growth prospects in the medium term, contributing to Zimbabwe's Vision 2030, targeting an upper middle income economy. It is my hope that the World Travel, Trade and Media will work with us as we seek to reposition Zimbabwe on the tourism global market. We are now more open for tourism, trade and indeed for business. And like a lion today, we make our real loud roaring noises and invite you to promote tourism and invest in Zimbabwe and the region. I thank you.
But the UK has shied away from visiting you in big numbers. Well, that's about to change. And we've seen that you've been the next big thing for some time now. It's never really happened. What's about to happen now? There's a real tide of positivity towards Zimbabwe. Now my company, Kamagaya, works with the tourist boards of Uganda. We work with the private sector in Zambia, and we work with the private sector in Tanzania. For this roadshow, within hours of us offering the opportunity to join the Zimbabwe roadshow, it was sold out from an exhibitor point of view. Such was your enthusiasm and commitment to drive this market. At the same time, within 2 or 3 days of us putting it out to the trade, the Zimbabwe roadshow was sold out. Far faster than any other destination that we were offering. There has to be a loud message in there. Let's continue on the theme of loud. For many reasons, which I won't go into, we feel that it is unlikely that the government of Zimbabwe is likely to be able to invest large sums of money to increase tourism from the UK. But as has been the case for the last decade, the private sector in Zimbabwe has continued to shout. What we would like to do is bring that together, bring all of those voices to be singing in exactly the same way, or perhaps not singing but roaring. Now's the time for the lion to roar. Now I'd like to mention to you a story which is about to be retold through film. The story of the Lion King. And those of you who are not familiar with the story, it tells of an adult male lion whose life is ended. I won't ruin the story for you if you haven't. But towards the end of the film, the son of the king returns. And he returns to reclaim his rightful place at the head of the pride. Now, if I was to say Zimbabwe is doing exactly the same, I don't think I'd be too far from the truth. Is Zimbabwe ready to return to take up its rightful place at the top of the tree?
Certainly open for business from a Zimbabwe point of view for tourism, and we've never been closed for business. And as Tim quite rightly said, the private sector has really pushed hard in the past decade and longer in the UK market. And finally the rewards are being seen where the UK numbers are growing significantly into Zimbabwe. And just want to thank Tim as well. He's been an avid supporter of Zimbabwe for a very long time. And I think it was great vision to invite Zimbabwe onto the Safari Roadshow. And you know, I was involved in inviting some of my colleagues from Zimbabwe to join the roadshow, and the take-up was instant. And it just goes to show that Tim and his team run a professional organization. And so the support was instant from the private sector, and then it was incredible to hear of the response from the trade in the UK. Who are interested in supporting Zimbabwe and interested in buying Zimbabwe's product. We have incredible wildlife destinations, private sector, together with public sector, national parks and wildlife, are doing phenomenal things in terms of anti-poaching, in terms of engaging with local communities to benefit from tourism. Chila Gorge, for example, with the Mahenya community down in Gonrajo, is a fine example of that. The Hyde Safari Camp is another fine example in Wangwe National Park. John's Camp and Vundu Camp in Manapur is another fine example of that. Changa with MAP in the Matusarana National Park is another fine example. So we're doing our best.